Hello there, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Oladipo Tayo, and here I talk about Christ, faith, purposeful living, and love. Today I'm going to be talking about 22 things I've learned in my 22 years of living. I'm going to be turning 23 in a few days' time, probably a week or so. And I don't know when you're going to be watching this video, but I'm going to be turning, I shot this video in December, and I'm going to be turning a year older in January. And so I'm going to be talking about 22 things I've learned in my 22 years of living. Sit tight and let's get right into it. And if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm watching you. All right. So I'm going to be talking about 22 things I've learned. And one of the first things I've come to understand is the first thing on my list is to trust God. Right? Trust God. I don't know if it took me time to understand this, but I really came to understand that in this life all you have is God, and the only person that can back you up, the only person that is more like the sure person for you at all time is God. So it might be like God has said some things and it's not showing forth. God said some things about your life. God said some things about a season, and it's looking like it's not coming forth. What you can do is to trust God. See, I've come to learn that, see, you cannot do anything without God. And so trusting Him means you are telling Him that I don't know why this is happening, but I trust you. I remember there was a season in my life where something was happening and I didn't really understand. I'm like, what is going on? I remember crying to God that particular day and I said, Lord, I don't know why this has to happen this way, but I trust you. And it just lifted a lot of burdens from me. And I said, Lord, I trust you. See, I've come to understand this. I'm glad I came to understand this quite early, and I'm still going to work with that. You have to trust God at every point in time. At every point in time, you have to trust God. And the second thing is this. Sorry, I'm going to be looking at my phone because I don't have all of them stored up in my head. The second thing is this: obedience to God will save you years of struggles. See, when God gives you an instruction, trust me, you really want to go ahead to do what He has asked you to do. You want to go ahead to follow His leading. You want to go ahead to follow whatsoever He has asked you to do. See, when God gives you an instruction, there is something at the end of that instruction that you may not see. And so it's important that when He gives you an instruction, you follow through with it. So it's more like, okay, God is saying, do this at this particular time, and you want to do your own way. Trust me, it's at the end of when you're trying to get the result, you will not figure why God asks you to do it this way or that way. So when God gives you an instruction, it's important that we follow through with whatsoever He has asked us to do. So I've come to understand that, see, obey God. Oh. See, because if you don't obey God, you will just figure that it's like you're moving in circles. You're moving in circles only to come to a point that you can't move forward again. Okay, let's move to the third thing. Number three is God places us in seasons not to punish us but to polish us. Sometimes you might be in a particular season, it could be a waiting season, and it's looking like, God, what did I even do to you? No, what did I do to you? What did I do to deserve this? Get like I've had people come to my DM asking me questions about waiting season and all of that. One thing I tell them is, see, your waiting season is unique and particular to you. That's one thing you have to understand first. And so you must understand that your waiting season is there for a reason. So God places us in season for a reason. If you can understand this, you will know that you will not really want to rush God, you will not want to box God, you will not want Him to do things. So when you are waiting, wait in joy. When you are waiting, wait enjoying that season and don't rush it. If God has said something, God does not lie, and that's the truth. God does not lie. So if He has said something, He will bring it to pass. And then the next thing is number four. Yeah, okay, it's still part of it. Waiting can take forever, but what do you believe? Do you believe your words or you believe God's words? So in that waiting season, trust me, He's going to be dropping footprints of some things. Sometimes God might be quiet, and is Him being silent does not mean that He doesn't know what He's doing, or he's not hearing you. But understand that you should not allow your thoughts to fuel to override what God has said concerning your life. Okay, so it's very, very important. It's very, very important. And so number five is to give God your time and watch how He's going to make beauty out of you. You see, giving God your time. I added this in part of my book. It's almost looking like it's left for pastors, it's left for people that want to do something. Every single person, if you want to have a successful year, if you want to have a very beautiful year in the coming years, you have to give God your time, because it's in the place of prayer, it's in the place of seeking God's face that you will know what He will have you do part time. There's some instructions that cannot come when you are. I know you they will say, God speaks at any time, but there are some instructions that come when you spend time with God, when you stay broken and you open your ears to listen to Him intentionally. Then He gives you what He wants you to do for the next season. I've learned this, and so that's why you see that I've said this over and over again. Prayer is beyond Lord, I want money. Lord, I want this. I want that. It's very good. It's good sometimes that we we tell God this is what we want. But sometimes when you allow God, when you allow God have His way, you see that there is more to what He will have you do than what you even want to do for yourself. So it's very important that you stay in the place of prayer for God to bring out beauty from you. Okay, then we'll go to the next. It's number 6. Be grateful for God, be grateful for where you are, be grateful for everything in your life, even for the pain you are going through. Be grateful for it. And so even when I go through seasons, I say, God, thank you for this season, because I know that there is something in it for me. There is a lesson in it for me. It is beyond mistakes, it is beyond going through something. There is something in it for me. So it's very, very important that when we go through seasons, when we go through sometimes, you still remain grateful. You being grateful is still there. Like, Lord, I thank you for this. Lord, I thank you for my pain. That is what I do most times. I thank God for my pain. I say, Lord, I thank you I'm going through this, because I know there is something you are doing with me in this season that is going to help me in coming times. So be grateful for everything. See, even be grateful for where you are currently. I know some of us might have had plans for maybe the year. Now we're about to close the year 2024, and you might have had plans for the year, and you're looking, and it's almost looking like all the plans you had, nothing came to pass. Be grateful for it, because where you are currently is somebody else's prayer point. That's just the truth. And that's what I used to tell myself. I say, see, where I am currently, this is not where I was last year. This is not where I once was few months back. So I am grateful for where I am, even if I'm not where I think I should be. In fact, how are you judging? What if that is where God wants you to be at that moment? So stay grateful and don't be an ungrateful fellow. All right, I don't want this video to be long, else we'll have another one. And I don't want us to have another video. I don't want us to have another one come up next week. So I would try to rush it. So kindly be patient with me. And number 7 is, before you make decisions, ensure that those decisions are in alignment with God's will for us. So I like the fact that you want to do something. God has given us liberty to choose, God has given us liberty to do what we want to do, sometimes. But other times, most often than not, God has a plan for us. God has a plan for everything. That's why it's almost looking like, this thing I even did, why is it not working? Check, is that what God wants you to do? So ensure that every decisions you are making are in alignment with God's will for your life. Don't just go ahead to make decisions, or don't just go ahead to, let's say, invest in a business or do something, and that is not where God is leading you to. Just see that you fall yourself hands. But you have to understand that you should, every decisions you are making, don't take any decisions without allowing God fashion it, without allowing God say, okay, yes, this is what I want you to do. Every single of your decisions should fall in alignment with God's will for your life. And most important, and that's why it's very important that, I know we believers, we don't like to pray this prayer, but it's a very sweet and interesting prayer. Lord, what is your will for my life? At this season, what do you want me to do? So it's very important we pray that. Okay, we'll move to the next, which is pray when you're comfortable and pray when you are not comfortable. This is even okay. I'm going to be merging two things together. It comes with prayers and even with your life in general. Life is not is not going to give you what you think you want on a platter. You have to put in the work at every point in time. So it's very important that you put in the work where necessary. Even when it comes to prayers, sometimes you might feel tired. I don't want to pray today. Something is there's a strong hope pulling you away from prayer. So it's very important that you pray. It is very important that you pray. So pray when you are comfortable, pray when you're not comfortable, pray when things are working, pray when things are not working. You might be having struggles praying long. Just keep stretching your spirit, keep stretching your spirit, and you figure that you are being open to pray more. All right. Number nine, which it has to do with the everything I'm talking about here is in the confines of the four structures I have for my YouTube channel, which is Christ, faith, purposeful living, and love. And so everything I'll have to fix in some things that it doesn't necessarily have to be centered around Christ, but around your own personal life too. Number nine is always do a self check on your attitude. It's very important that everybody, including me, including you have a self check. Sometimes you just ask your friend, what do you think I'm doing that is wrong? What do you think I should do better? Right? So have some self check every single time. Have self check and check if they tell you that okay this thing is wrong. I remember sending a message to my friends. We graduated together this year, and I sent them. I said, okay, we're moving into the new year. What do you think I should change? And when they told me the things, I was like, whoa, is this what I've been doing that I don't know of? And even though to me I was like, oh, I'm a cool girl. I know I'm not perfect, but I really cannot pinpoint the places where I am wrong because people have to tell me that okay, this is what you are doing wrong. And so when they told me, I said thank you, and I started intentionally working on it. So do a self check on yourself at every point in time and work on them. Work on your attitude. You're not perfect. It's fine. It's okay. But then ensure you work on yourself. Number 10 is have some certain values that cannot be broken. Have some certain values that cannot be broken. Some of us, we have, some of us, we people don't know us for what we stand for. Like anything can go on in our lives, which is wrong. Not everybody can just have something to do with you or can just, do something with you. No, it's very, very wrong. So that's why it's important that you have some core values that surround you. What some of it is, okay, I'm a Christian. Yes, I don't do this, I don't do that. There's some conversations I don't engage in. I don't know how other people may see it, but that's me for you. And it might look like, you too they do. I too they do. I know what I'm trying to protect. Even scripture says you guard your heart with all diligence. And so when some jokes are being said around you, you just laugh, hey, 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 hey. They are knowing that okay, this person can be part of it. But when you just say no, I don't really I cannot relate to what you are saying because that is not part of my values. I know what I stand for. People know that okay, this is who this person is. So at every point in time, always draw the line, always know when to draw the line and have some certain boundaries and values that cannot be broken. All right, number 11 is there are situations that will come around you that you would think will swallow you and kill you. They are only making you. And so this is what I said. Situations, there are some certain things that you think that might be breaking you, but they are making you. Have you ever been in a situation? Let's take for instance, maybe let's say when it comes to exam time, let's use exam as an example. You just figure that you read more, you study more, you give in your best, and you just feel more productive. And to you, it's almost like this thing is stressful. It wants to kill me and all of that, but it brings out the best of you. So this is what I've come to learn about challenges and situations. They are not there to break you. It might even break you at some point, but in that breaking is making you. So when you are going through things, when you are going through challenges, understand that they are not there to break you alone, but they are there to make you. If you can pick out the lessons from it. So let's take for instance, you make a mistake and you think this is the final thing. If you can pick out the lessons, dust yourself and you pick up and you go back again, you figure that you learn better, even though you had to learn through experience, which experience is not always the best teacher, right? So, but you become a better person at that. You become a better person. So situations that you think should swallow you are only making you. And when I figured that, I stopped to, overthink things. 12 is you will not have everything figured out, especially if you are in your 20s. Even if you're not in your 20s, you always cannot have everything figured out, right? So there are sometimes it will almost look like, Kai, this is this is what I want to do, but I don't know what next to do, or is this what I should be doing, or is this you see the 20s can be so frustrating. Like it's almost like you want to do everything at a time. You cannot have everything figured out. That's just the truth. You cannot have everything figured out. But then give yourself grace to go part time. Give yourself grace to learn as time goes on. Give yourself grace to move per season. You cannot learn everything and you cannot get everything figured out. All right, number 13 is that evolve so you are not being left behind. Um, this is very important, especially for young adults and especially for you that want to make your 2025 a very interesting year, right? Evolve. Don't remain where you are. See, if it means unlearning some things that you have learned before, do that. Learn, unlearn, and relearn. Don't stop learning. The world is moving very fast. And so if you don't move along with it, you'll be left behind. Evolve at every point in time. So that's why it's important. One thing I learned this too, and I learned that okay, at every point in time, even if you cannot figure everything out, keep learning. Keep doing things that will build you, keep doing things that will make you stronger. Don't give excuses. Evolve at every point in time. Okay, number 14. Give yourself the best. Give yourself the best. Give yourself the best. The best when it comes to if you have the best when it comes to your time, the best when it comes to giving your resources to ensure you're building yourself. And it's not about giving your resources to look good. It's very, very good to look good. Like please, you need to especially you need to come out well, when people see you, they'll be like, ah no, this person is taking care of herself. But how do you take care of your physical body and you're not taking care of your mind? You can see. So it's very important that as you take care of yourself, give yourself the best spiritually, mentally, physically, even emotionally. Give yourself what the best. And number 15, I had mentioned this earlier, but I'll just since I added it is your mistakes are not fatal. Your mistakes are not final. Sorry, they might be fatal, but they are not final. So you might have made a mistake in your life and you are feeling like, ah, Lord, this thing is so huge. I wrote this as part of my book. There are some mistakes I had made, and it almost looked like that is the final thing. I cannot move forward. Like I'm being stagnated and all of that. 16 is value the people around you. Value the people you have in your life. I heard this from Apostle Selma. He said there are some people that you should never allow to live your life. Like it's almost like you're holding on to the hem of their garments. Like I'm not going to let you go. Right? So value every single person you see around you. Everybody in your life presently are important. I don't know if you've seen pictures of, let's say, some influencers or big men of God, and you see them take pictures as far back as 20 years behind. And you'll be like, yo, these guys know themselves, yes. And you can see how they've built that relationship up to this point. Some of the great people we see tomorrow, they are coming up presently. You don't know if that your friend close to you is great. So don't joke with relationships. That's why it's very important that even when you do things to hurt some of those people, just apologize. And it's not like saying sorry or all of that. You genuinely apologize because you know that there's some people you cannot lose out of what your life. Um the next thing is forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. And why I said forgive yourself is so people are living on past hurts that they cannot even move forward. They cannot move forward. What I mean by they cannot move forward is that they are dwelling in their past, and their past is holding them down from moving forward. And this is so bad because it will not make you make headway with your life. It is very, very dangerous. This was part of me. I really don't want to share a lot in this video because I had put some of my experiences in Broken to Shape. So when you read it, you get an in-depth of some of the experiences I went through. And so it was difficult to forgive myself. I'm like, no, I cannot believe this. I cannot believe that. But when I forgave myself and when I understood that, no, Christ has paid the price for whatsoever I think I might have done wrong. And so I just figured that yes, the devil was only just trying to play with my mind and no, this is this is that. So even when you are being broken at some point, understand that you have to forgive yourself to move forward, else you will dwell in your past hurts. So forgive yourself. All right. Um. Okay. Number 19. I said Christ has paid for your sins, so don't dwell in the hurt. Yeah, that's part of it. Christ has paid for your sin, and so it was almost looking like. And fun part is this is something that maybe let's say long ago, and you're remembering. Oh, there was one guilt that came to me, and this is something that has happened like I don't know, should I say as far back as 7 to 8 years ago? And the guilt kept coming to my head. Oh, this is who you are. And one thing I told myself, and I wrote it in my book. Whenever the devil is trying to blow my mind, I say, "No, I am not my mistake. That is not me." So even if something has happened, maybe 15 years ago, or maybe you hurt your parents, maybe you hate your parents, you are not joyful with them and all, and it's almost looking like no. Told myself, no, that's not going to be possible. That cannot be me. And I said that no, that cannot be me. Right. And so Christ has paid for your sin. So you don't need to carry it along with you again. All right. Number 20 is don't allow your emotions guide your decision making. And this is why it's very important to always stay joyful. This is why it's very, very important that nothing should determine your joy in this life. Nothing. Like when I mean nothing, nothing should be a determining factor for your joy. So it's very important that you stay joyful. It's very important that you stay happy. It's very important that at every point in time, your emotions should not be triggered easily that you end up making decisions that you will regret. So that's why it's very important. You control anger, you control fear, you control anxiety, all those negative emotions that will be flying around, especially for ladies. Calm down and don't rush to make decisions in those seasons. Calm down. After that, you just figure that, oh, this thing I wanted to even decide. It doesn't even really make sense after you've calmed down. So it's very important that don't allow your emotions to cloud your thinking, and then you make decisions along that way. And this will make move me to the next point, which is don't allow your thoughts to think you. Like I started doing this recently, and I can't remember. I can't explain how mind blowing it is when you begin to think your thoughts. Let's take for instance, you are assuming that this is what somebody did to you, or this is what is going on in your life. You begin to think negative thoughts. What I started doing was to start thinking positive thoughts. No, you know what? In fact, this is how I think now. I feel like, okay, what if this is what it is? That is, I'm now thinking in the positive aspect, and I've seen how my life has changed tremendously. Like it will even keep you to, it will help you to stay joyful. You'll just be happy because nothing is going to be bothering you. So sometimes it's some of those things are just mere assumptions. Mere assumptions. So when you are thinking negative thoughts, they will only affect you negatively. That's why it's very important to think positive thoughts, think faithful thoughts. So when things are almost looking like things are not going right in the right direction, I start thinking negative thoughts. I switch immediately. I say no, this is how it is. This is how I think. Even to people, I think positive thoughts to people. All right. So then we are in number 21. Okay, 22 already. I think I added one. We're 22 already. But I'll just add the last one is be authentic and true to yourself. Understand your weakness and know your strengths. Know that your weakness are there. Know that your weakness are there, and are there. Every one of us have weaknesses. Right. You have your weakness, you have your strength. But it's very important to know that your weakness does not define you. It does not. Trust me, it does not. And your strength too does not necessarily define you, because if you keep um how will I put this word? If you keep relying on your strength, and you figure that, and you think that okay, there are some things, one thing with strength is you mark out some of the things you can do and some of the things you cannot do, but you can do more than you can even imagine. That's what I'm saying. Your strength can should not define you, should not define you. So some of the things that you think that you can do, and this is where you have the limit. You don't know that you have the capacity to go beyond that. So your strength should not define you, your weakness should not define you, but be you, be authentic, and just keep evolving and unraveling graciously. I love this word so much. Like, just keep living your life and enjoying the beauty that has to come with being you in God. There's so much beauty. There's so much beauty. I tell people, like I say, I'm different. I may not look. I'm Temi. Nobody else can be Temi. I don't know who what your name is, but whosoever is watching this, you are you. Nobody else can be you, and you are unique the way you are. Okay, so you are not being defined by you're not being defined by your strengths, and you're not being defined by your weaknesses. So it's very important that you create a balance for them. And I'm going to add this final one, which I am giving myself recently, is take out time to rest. See, rest in God and know that He's carrying you. And it's almost like the summary of all what I've been saying. I started with trusting God. Then the last thing is rest in God. See, just rest. Rest. I don't know how to put it. Some of you are carrying so much burden in your heart, so much in your spirit that you cannot move forward. Rest, calm down. Okay? Rest. And so it's very important that even physically take out time to rest. Take out time to enjoy yourself, not in negative way, but take out time to rest and take out time to rest in God. All right, so these are the 22 things I've come to learn. There are more than 22, but I just had to streamline them to these things. If there's any other one, maybe I can add to it in the incoming videos. But this is what I've come to learn, and I want you to take this with you, like hold it with you, some of these experiences. I know some of you can relate to some of these things. So just calm down and trust God and walk with God and have a beautiful life. Okay? Every single day, there's something so sweet about knowing God. There's something sweet about being different. All right. So thank you for sticking with me to this video. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you can see that you are doing something wrong. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, and more videos will be coming out in 2025. I have a lot of things in stock for us in 2025. But how will you know if you don't subscribe to my YouTube channel? Eh? I'm watching you. So click the subscribe button now so that we will not fight. All right. I shot this in December, meaning that meaning the next time I'm going to be seeing you will be in the new year. I just want to wish you a happy new year and the very best of the new year. I know 2025 is going to be a blessed year for you. I know 2025 is going to be a sweet year for you. I know 2025 is going to shape you into another version of you. The happy you, the joyful you, the you never knew existed. I know 2025 is going to bring that part out of you. And so this is me saying, welcome to the new year already and stay blessed. I love you. Take care. Bye.